Hey, yous guys, welcome to You Be Aight podcast, presented by AML Media. Love you, Mom. I'm Gene Labordi. My co-host Stephen Labordi, working all the hard work, doing all the good stuff, is Rachel Labordi. This is You Be Aight podcast. Thanks for joining us. Let's go have some fun. Well, I hope everyone had a good Memorial Day weekend. It was really good weather, not too hot for most people. We were sweating a little bit. You, as always, were sweating a lot.
Undressed improperly.
Completely improperly.
I thought it was inside. I don't know why.
And then I like how you kind of blamed Aunt Jeannie. Were like, I texted her and she never got back to me, even though I've been planning this the whole time. You could have easily asked me.
I know, it was stupid. But let's first lay out what we did.
Okay, yeah.
And also, Memorial Day weekend was 2 weekends ago.
Oh, yeah. Well, regardless, happy Memorial Day weekend.
We already did that. We already wished
I hope you guys
out.
had a good time. I can do it again.
Yeah, that's
also,
true.
you know what? Happy New Year, too, because it's still a new year, technically.
Okay.
So don't rain on my parade.
You just like to celebrate. I'm down with that.
I love holidays. So our cousin Riley, who does a little bit of everything in regards to he's a firefighter, and usually that's tied in with EMS. He does things with that too. And this is back in our hometown suburbs of Philly. Very active with it. He wins all these awards for it and stuff. He loves doing it. And he's a little hustler too. I mean, he's the type of kid who'll sell baseball cards if he comes, he's been selling cars since he's like basically can drive. So, him and a lot of our family, kind of surprisingly, made the trip from Philadelphia, and actually my uncle from Connecticut, to come to, he graduated. He got his associate's degree in applied science, I think it was. His company, which I guess is the fire company, I'm not sure, paid for this kind of, I don't want to say obscure, but
no, it's obscure. That's fine.
yeah, it's a community college that
is based in Ohio. But there were people graduating from Kenya, Texas.
I think it's a very big online school.
It is.
They have a campus, but so he graduated. A bunch of them, my family came into town, so it was cool to see them. It was hard planning because they're so used to Philly, they don't know where things are. They're asking me for help with hotels. I'm like, I can't even do that for myself. But so we go to this graduation at. I was very surprised. The concert venue that like the Allman Brothers play at. This isn't like, it's not an arena size. Like, this isn't where Taylor Swift's going to play, but this is where Dave Matthews is going to play. And it's kind of out in the middle of nowhere. It's like right in between. It's almost in West Virginia, but it's still Pennsylvania. But it's huge. It's got the general yard seating, and then like
it's an outdoor amphitheater.
Yeah.
Most people can get a good.
Yeah, and it's got seating down the thing. Yeah. So we had no idea what to expect. And to be honest, I didn't, because I just got a clip of like what the time and day and stuff was. Going into it, we just knew where to be and what time. I didn't know what he was graduating for. Yeah. And it got to the point where it was a little too embarrassing to ask because I should have known at that point.
Yeah. I don't think you should have known.
Regardless what it was, we're in Pittsburgh. Family's coming to town.
It was shocking that, like what, not counting us, it was like 14 or 15 people traveled, let's just say 5.5 hours, that, to the Pittsburgh area when none of them are anywhere but in Philadelphia or Connecticut.
And they're doing it just in a weekend, which
just for
is
a weekend.
Tough. My rule, because I've been back and forth so many times, is I will not go unless it's longer for 4 days. Because tolls are almost fucking $60 now. Gas, depending on your veat, for
and
me
just
it's
inconvenience.
Yeah,
I mean it is, especially like our cousin they brought the 3 kids. They're older, but that even makes them more expensive.
That, and they're still in school. You know, it's like it's getting close to summer, but they had to drive home Sunday, and kids had to wake up, and everyone had to go to work on Monday. Regardless, congratulations, Riley. It is so typical, kind of us. Not typical, but we were there earlier than them, and we found a shaded spot in the grass. And everyone else, they got there. We said they were going to go sit down to get closer, and I kind of said, I can't be out in the sun like that. It's a 3-hour thing. So we just stood, chilled back in the grass, said, hey, we'll meet up with you after. The characters we've seen here, and I'm talking about the family of these people. Like we said, people from everywhere. I mean, there was Florida, Kenya, Dominican Republic of these graduator, and a lot of them were there. I mean, imagine coming from Florida to go to your graduation for that.
People came from the continent of Africa.
College graduation's a big
but
it's
in.
deal.
I mean, let's just get the elephant out of the room. It's an associate's degree.
True.
So, and I'm not shitting on. I don't have an associate, but I'm saying traveling that kind of distance for that. But I'm also like, I'm the kind of person who would be like, I'm not going. You guys can go if you want.
This is going to sound a little cynical, kind of, but it almost makes more sense for someone from like the Dominican Republic.
It definitely makes more
for
sense.
their family to travel, because this is the first person that like
could even go to a college.
Yes,
because of the internet.
But for someone to fly from Florida,
But we did the right thing. We went. It was easy for us, though, because we live here.
Yeah. And we, I dressed in my golf attire. I never want to be when you're fat, you can't be the one dressed down. So that's my bare minimum for going out. Rachel wore a nice dress. Steven wore his winter outfit for some reason. Black pants.
They're blue pants. But, yeah, I had long pants on and a long sleeve, like, button, the top button.
You made a mistake.
I fucked up.
Yeah, and it was like a maroon color too, so it wasn't like it was a darker shirt you were wearing.
It's dark gray, but the thing is, it was like 93, 94 degrees.
This was June 3rd or something like that, and Steven said, "Let me pull out the long sleeve." The one who is always complaining about sweating, but it was funny to see because it was 3 hours long, and
were you mad that I not mad, but did it bother you that I admitted like that we didn't hear his name get called?
No, didn't bother because I didn't, and I was like trying to listen. I'm like, I'm here for a reason.
He was like one of the last, which was funny, and
I couldn't figure out a rhyme or a reason. It wasn't alphabetical. I don't know how they were doing things.
Yeah, so it was I was curious because we were listening.
But yeah, the people walking around, the second I seen, I mean, there was dudes just in tank tops, just hucking down cigarettes like right behind the seating, kids just running freely with like no parental supervision going on.
Yeah. But then there was like Oscar gowns and
black tied almost, some of the people. And there was some...
There was everything from white trash.
There was some fucking retards there
to black people and their Sunday's finest, like big bright suits and like prom dresses almost. And these are the family of the people.
Yeah. It definitely, but me personally, I like that. It was laid back.
It was
casual.
Great people watching. At one point, a sloppy, chubby white kid that had definitely greasy hair, just didn't know what he had like weird slip-on shoes with high socks pulled up, gym shorts on, and just I don't even know, it might have as well been a Slayer t-shirt. If I just seen that, I would be like, that poor kid. He had literally a top hat and a fucking cane.
Yeah, like a walking cane.
I was like, Steven, you have to go figure out the story of what's going on with that.
Yeah.
And I've been running it through my head, and he
wasn't like... He didn't have the autistic look. Like, he wasn't actually...
No, this was...
He looked just like a dopey, dumpy...
Autistic doesn't have a look.
It does.
Listen...
No. Real
Autistic?
Yes, it does. Just in movements and mannerisms and everything.
Let's put it this way. Usually people with autism don't want to draw attention to themselves.
Yeah,
for the most
that's
part.
also a good point. He was totally autonomous. Nobody
He was doing the cane swing.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, like fucking the evil rich guy in cartoons, like where he swung it, put his hand out, put it on the ground, and like...
Now that we're talking about it, he was pretty fucking punk rock, wasn't he?
Dude, the
I think
top
he was
hat...
just expressing himself.
Dude, yeah, but here's
He
the...
liked it.
It ain't easy to find a top hat.
Dude,
I have like
No?
every kind of hat there
It
is.
was like an actual, legit fucking...
Abe Lincoln.
The
top
only
hat.
thing... So I've ran through a few scenarios. One, he's wants to be a magician, and he's just asking for people to ask what's going on with that, to pull literally a rabbit out of his hat, or turn that cane into flowers or something. Two, I'm thinking, was this his way? His mom, his like stepdad is making him go to this, and he's like, all right, but I'm gonna to try and get back at his parents. He went for the most ridiculous thing he could think of.
I would lean towards that, but the non-clothing part of him made it look like he's just a fucking weirdo.
Maybe that was his sarcastic way of dressing up. Like, okay, well, I got
That's
my
what
cane
he's
and
saying.
top hat.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, because his parents like, you have to dress up for this, and he goes, okay.
That's what.
But it struck me as someone, I don't know the type of person that I'm even thinking of, but like, I
Someone
think
who
that's
goes-
his personality.
someone
that
who
he
live
just,
action role plays.
yeah, he
Yeah,
just
like one
likes
of those-
that shit.
It's just the other
People
pieces
are allowed
of
to
it.
wear stuff.
Yeah, no, I know, obviously, but it wasn't even everyone can get their hands on a button up for $2.
And let's say this: he's just like a fucking
what we like to call uniquees,
if
kind
he,
of.
Yeah.
he didn't go all out. Like wear some like slick slacks or something.
That's what I'm
he had
saying.
Gym shorts on,
And like
I think.
unmatching socks pulled up way too high. You know,
I don't remember his socks, but
and he had those shoes that like the knockoff brand of Vans that were beat. I remember going like, those shoes they have holes in the bottom of them.
yeah.
And like, once again, if that kid didn't have the top hat or the cane, I would just think this kid just he lives in a trailer park. They ain't got no money.
There's nothing wrong with living in a trailer park.
No. My best tippers when I fucking delivered pizzas were fucking the trailer park. But I'm just thinking, if I just saw him, wouldn't even have noticed him at all.
No.
You know, I'd just been like, they just don't know how to dress, or they don't got money, whatever it is. But the fact, like you said, where the fuck do you get a top hat?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's why I'm gonna say he's just punk rock as shit.
And
That's what I'm going with.
And this was
Respect, dude.
not fedora. This was a proper squared up, fucking out of like almost looked like Slash's hat.
Yeah, a proper top hat. That's what I'm saying.
And the cane, I remember it had white at the bottom. Like, this was a whole thing.
I think that's cooler than a fedora.
I mean, if you're gonna go all out. Yeah. And I mean, as far as pulling it off, I mean, he was, I guess.
But there's a lot of people there. I'm pretty sure if he had a fedora, I wouldn't even have looked at him. And also, I mean, because this was great people watching. Because I'm talking about skirts that
oh my God, man,
were not covering anything.
these young girls don't even want to wear any clothes almost.
We seen like sunglasses that literally look like
SpongeBob sunglasses.
Yeah, it looks like something like Andy Warhol would have worn. And like, a matching yellow dress with it, but
Listen, I don't feel like it's derogatory to say like black folks go all out with the colors because they can, dude.
we've seen, and Rachel pointed out like 3 times, because it was like, this was a proper prom dress, or like what you wear to like fucking the Great Gatsby's party. It was a heavy set black woman, her like 40s, which is really what kind of like made me notice, of like complete sequence. Like, she looked like a fucking disco ball walking around.
Oh, okay, I know what you mean.
You
Not
know-
a sequence.
Pink and super sparkly.
I remember her. Okay, I remember her.
Now that I think of it, the black people there were dressed way
They were
nicer than
showing out.
everybody else.
Yeah, they're the only ones who had like suits on.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah,
Because they go to church, they know what
They know how to dress to impress.
and yeah, just looking. They know how to look cool too. They also
But here's the thing: not all of them, but even when they don't look cool, they look way cooler than an uncool white person.
They have the confidence
I was gonna say the
pull
confidence,
whatever off.
especially an older black man who's really skinny, and so his suit's not properly tailored, but it's it's orange and everything matches, and the way he smokes a cigarette, I've seen like 40 of them. That's seriously out of like a movie. Like he's with a whole family. His wife's like 5 times his size, but they're all done up too. And the way he's in the back just smoking a cigarette for like, I don't know how he smokes a cigarette for an hour. He makes that thing last, but
yeah. Well, I mean, it kind of what we got was a place where the men's bathroom had urinal troughs.
Mm-hmm.
So once you see that, you kind of know. I mean, this is a low key event. We could be ourselves here. So we were laying out in the grass.
It's funny because to look back, to see me laying on, because it's kind of slanted grass. Most people, you understand that the amphitheater type of style. The way I was laying, I was beach whaled because you didn't have chairs.
Yeah, you were really uncomfortable.
And I couldn't, I can't. If I cross my legs for like 10 minutes, my feet just go numb. So I'm just trying to do this lay. My shoulder hurt for like 3 days afterwards because I'm trying to do the like almost the Playboy lay.
The best part about the whole thing was the spot we were sat was the background for like 100 people's pictures.
I know.
So
I'm in so many fucking backgrounds.
Yeah, you
I'm not
are.
happy.
I mean, we all are, but yeah.
I'm lucky. I almost wore my other golf shirt, which is like bright teal. Like,
Yeah.
I'm lucky I was just in like kind of a normal blue color.
Yeah.
I almost wore my like bright color. And, I would have been so pissed.
So the commencement speech, like the opening ceremony guy's terrible. He did a history lesson of Ohio. Even we were in Pittsburgh.
Now, I get the college is based in Ohio, but either he is still a congressman or he was a congressman. A little bit of a southern accent. And yeah, someone definitely handed him a speech that day.
Yeah.
And then just kept rattling off people from Ohio.
Yeah. And how many times the school had changed its name and all kinds of stuff. But what was really crazy is in the program, there was a good amount of people. Like you said, it was a close to a 3-hour ceremony. There was only like maybe an eighth of the people actually at the ceremony that were in the program.
Yeah.
Which made me think immediately, like, these people are all entering the workforce right now. And this is just one community college. It's just crazy, dude.
One other thing to note, too, that was kind of funny, is we stayed in a shade spot. Well, 3 hours. It started at 10. That sun moved by the end of it. Because there was us and 4 other groups of people, and like some of them had like 5 kids on a blanket.
Yeah, kids.
And we didn't have a blanket, and that shade was shrinking. It was getting like high noon. Mm-hmm. We're luckily that the one group ended up leaving because the person graduated and their name was said and left. Because if not, we were getting to the point where we only had roots to lay on.
Yeah.
And I was getting a little flustered. I started looking for other options.
I have to say, it isn't normal for people to get their name called and then just leave, right?
It's
No way.
specifically in the directions. It says, wait, you have to wait for the ceremony to end.
So it was fucked up because like Riley was towards the actually at the very end. He was probably one of the last 20 names, and there was like half the people sitting there that started because you're supposed to wait for the tassel or the hat throw.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
That and there's like one more kind of short speech at the end. And
They do like I forget what it's called, but they like
Where they move the
officiate the graduation. Like it's the official. Okay, now you're graduated.
right.
Yeah. And you could see too, because some of them that were walking off, like there was like one person there at the ceremony, and they're like they're tearing their gown off, like not even in the parking lot yet. That like they're not, they're like this. I had to do this.
You get the sense that like some of them didn't realize that you don't actually have to go to the ceremony to graduate.
that and then because I'd see someone like they're so not happy. my mom, I had to do this or I was gonna get kicked out of the house. Like, I was like,
most of them were older actually.
But no, and then I was gonna say when you seen like an older you seen like a lady in her like late 30s and she's going back, in her 40s, going back to try and make something of herself. I was like, there you fucking go.
Yeah.
Also, a point to note, one of the so there's a couple degrees, and so associates of arts. The guy's saying this 1,000 times, all these kids, so it starts sounding like he's saying associates of farts.
Yeah, that was
And
fun.
once you hear it, you can't not hear it.
Yeah.
But some of the degrees were like associates of arts of
with option to be a police officer. Like, it's so weird. Yeah.
They were like, with the option, yeah, you can also be a cop with this if you really wanted to.
Yeah. Actually though, to say like associate of farts over and over, like, it's really hard not to. But the woman who took over did a much better job pronunciating it, where it didn't sound like farts. But that was entertaining for everybody.
Yeah. That, and then also, and I only heard it because Rachel pointed out, and I only heard it once. But what was it?
It was
the science.
Yeah, it was black science.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that's a popular course of study, like, African American studies, but just to call it black science.
Well, the history of I get the history of black studies, or what but it was just black science.
I think what we're thinking is it can't be.
Do you just watch Neil deGrasse Tyson all the time?
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, it has to be.
This is so. I just kind of Googled it to see what came up, and Rutgers University has Blacks in Science. This course is a broad survey of the contributions of Africans to science.
That makes
so
sense.
maybe something like that. Because if it was just Black Studies, I don't think it would be called science.
Science is a very specific term, especially in an educational realm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or he just messed up his words.
That's why I think, because
I thought you said that, and I was like, he said applied science, and you were like, no,
No, because he was like, associate in applied science, Black science.
yeah, I think
And then
he
this is the
jumbled
state
his,
that he was from.
That sounds like he jumbled his words a little bit.
It would be funny because that would happen to me. I would be the one that walks on stage and everyone goes, did he just say black science? And I'd be like, no, he said this. You have to yell out.
How typical was it that when the whole thing ended, our Aunt Jeannie had everybody up front taking pictures for, like, we were watching from far away, but everybody was cleared out except for her right up front of the stage. Like, she's happy.
Well, and it's one of those things. It's an inside joke in the family because, like, even our goddaughter and godson, they're twins. It's our cousin's kids. Like, they knew immediately to get out of there. They were like, they got their picture and they came up to the hill. Their dad, Ed, his bro, he was like, he knew the deal that she's gonna take as many and you know what? You're there. She drove 5.5 hours to take your pictures, I guess.
Yeah, it's classic Aunt Jeannie.
But
everybody was gone but our group. Like, literally, there were thousands of people. There's probably like 2,000 people there. You'd say?
Yeah. I mean, all of the seats were filled.
Nah,
2/3 of the seats were filled.
There was a lot of people walking around. Like, literally, when we were there, I was like, man, I kind of wish we were here to see a concert.
It's a great concert place. It's my favorite one.
Dead and Company was there last night, and the traffic got so bad because it was sold out that people were in traffic for 4 to 5 hours and abandoning their cars, and a lot of people didn't get to go to the concert because they couldn't get there because people like left their cars and walked the rest of the way.
Like, just pulled over on the side of the road?
Yeah, but it was a big, like, it's been all over the news because people couldn't get in, and the venue was kind of like, we encourage people to carpool and come early. I'm sorry. Like,
they got to get that situated.
Well,
that's the Dead and Company. Like,
if it's the same fucking crew that was making our parking.
Oh my God.
They literally, now I get it because, like, they know it's going to be way less. So, like, literally everyone that fit there could fit in the VIP parking. But the dude was just so late. He was like, yeah, right around here, I start a new row.
Well, I mean, how do you expect them to act? They're just directing parking. They did a good job at the end. Everything was good.
With that little amount of cars, though.
Yeah, I don't think the parking's the issue she's talking about. People just can't get in and out.
Yeah, but it's because it's one long row. So, like, if they're not getting them parked fast, that's what you're waiting on. Like, I told you when we left, I was like, yeah, you'll wait in line on the road before you even get to the venue because everything gets channeled to one or to two lanes. And the speed of it is how fast they're getting people parked.
In any case, that's a nightmare, and I would be... Livid, yeah.
I bet those tickets
4 or 5 hours in just traffic.
Oh man,
no concert's worth that.
No,
to me, I don't care. Even if you said, Led Zeppelin with all the original members are gonna play.
I was gonna say Dead and Company. So did fucking Jerry Garcia come back to life for a night?
Even if he did, but
you know Jerry Garcia's missing the top of his ring finger.
No, but he's dead.
Well, he was. Okay, let me rephrase.
They cut it off after.
But yeah, the symbol, because I've seen it before. Like, people wear a shirt that's like just like a handprint like this. I never knew it was, but it's...
You know how he lost it?
I don't. He was finger blasting too hard when he was 14.
Yeah, right.
Back then, they couldn't fix it.
We had some pretty big time traffic leaving there.
Yeah, and that's nothing. Yeah, from what I'm used to being there, like I was surprised. But nice, that was good. So by the time we get out of there, it's like a conversation. Like, there's all these people, and it's like, well, everyone here is probably thinking the same thing. Let's go out to lunch after, Anyway, fast forward through some annoying phone calls. We go to the Cheesecake Factory. Haven't
been in a while.
And we had to wait 45 minutes, but we had 16 people, so they actually accommodated pretty well, I'd have to say. At a very busy cheesecake. Very big Cheesecake Factory. Everyone knew what I meant.
It was a really big cheesecake.
The CF, okay? The old CF. Their fucking menus, too. It is too much. Yeah. I feel like this is like a Seinfeld bit, or every sitcom has made a joke about something like this. But it really is... I watched multiple people panic order at the last minute and just go, because I was one of them, to just go, cheeseburger.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Like, there's like 3 pages of cheesecake. There's one page that's all breakfast foods, which who the fuck goes to Cheesecake Factory to get? And I love getting breakfast for dinner or whatever. But
well,
I think Cheesecake Factory.
I think you could actually, they probably open up probably like 9.
Well, it's whatever. It said served
because they do have
day.
a brunch. They do a brunch there too. That's
okay.
But yeah, there's a whole one of that, and then there's a whole page of like
small stuff. There's a whole page of like petite stuff, and then appetizers separately. A whole page of salads, burgers, sandwiches. They got it all.
But they have a whole page of just burgers, and then a whole page of sandwiches.
I don't think us describing it's not doing it justice. People probably watching.
People know that, but
people are like, "Duh, yeah." I mean,
here's the thing, and I get it because you're not going to get something there that it's going to be bad, but you can't do everything great.
I thought that the appetizers.
Well, that one you didn't know what the hell you put in your mouth.
Yeah, it was like some chicken puree, a buffalo chicken puree.
I actually thought it was really good.
And then the pot stickers. I guess when you have a group of 16. Bringing out a tray or a plate with 5 pot stickers on it.
Well, Aunt Jeannie said, Steven, do the appetizers, and you locked up, and you were like, I don't know, you just started sweating. Like, she just asked you, like, hey, you remember how to do calculus? Because I'm going to come around.
For the record, I was sweating well before that.
But you were, like, rubbing your face. You're like, why did she ask me? And I was like, I think she was just saying.
That didn't happen.
Yeah, you did.
No, it didn't.
You never ordered
Steven
any appetizers.
You
seized
like that.
up, dude. That's why pot stickers and chicken poppers came out.
And that's not what happened. What happened was she said that to me before the waitress even got there. And when the waitress came to the table, I said, start down there. And I sent her away.
Yeah, but before that, you were like, why did she ask me to do this? You said maybe not those words.
I guess if you're a mind reader, that's what happened.
That, dude, you said it out loud. Because then... we just didn't. I mean, not that I wanted them. I couldn't eat. I had stomach issues, but we didn't even order appetizers.
No, I wanted her to go to the other side because I'm not paying. So that's why I was like, I don't want to order all the appetizers for the table. I'm not paying for this.
But I think she was because I was trying to like maybe I didn't convey it out loud, or I wasn't having a great time. Like I said, my stomach was messed up. But I was like, I think she just meant like grab some appetizers for us, not pick the whole table's appetizers out.
Yeah, well, I mean, she was like 20 feet away, so it was a hard discussion to have. But I was really the whole thing, like that was an expensive meal, and appetizers are expensive. Like, and for that many people, I was gonna have to order like 10 appetizers. I just wasn't comfortable doing that.
No, I agree. We were put in that position, and we were making jokes about it. Like, you know, I'm 31 now. You're 37. Like, I don't. Not that I don't like doing that because I wanted to see them, but I feel bad. I'm like, I should be able to pay for my own meal, but that's always a thing for everybody in the world. Like,
yeah,
you know, like because it's weird to be like, I'll pay for my portion.
Yeah, no, you don't do that. That's totally against decorum. Like maybe do it as like a show, but in a situation like that,
well, I definitely gonna be paying for everybody, but like, I wish I thought it through because I would have grabbed some cash. And at least at the end to try and
offer up a tip.
We'll just be like, hey, add this to the tip. You know what I mean? Because even the tip for a bill that big, 16 of us, you think each? I mean, that thing was over a grand, right?
No, it wasn't that much.
Maybe not.
$20 a person, 10
easy.
At least 10 people.
And I mean, even the burger is like $24 there.
Yeah.
Plus,
it wasn't cheap.
Plus sodas. Some people had a couple beers, appetizers.
Yeah.
Some cheesecake. But regardless, it was nice. We got to catch up. We haven't talked to Ed in forever. Got to talk to my
twins. Yeah.
Yeah, man, teenage girls. They really are at that age. And
that was rough.
Yeah. Nah, she's my goddaughter, and she is a sweetheart, and they're good kids. They don't get in trouble and stuff. But man, can a teenage girl really
talk?
What is it, Gen Z? Is that what they are?
Yeah.
I was honestly impressed she wasn't on her phone that much.
You know what? Good point to that. And I think she was kind of having fun. I think because we were at the fun part of the table. It was me, you, Rachel, Ed, who's a good time. He was, having some beers, and then her.
And not to say I'm like cool or anything, but when I was young, if there was an older girl around, that was fucking awesome.
Yeah, because then because then she can join in us having our dumb conversations about farts and pooping, and then also ask you about
she
being
was asking
vegan.
Me if there was like boutiques around. I was like, girl, I don't know.
She's definitely like with bougie in the sense. She's like, I have $36 lip gloss, but she works. She's pretty young working, so. They're raising him right. That was a good time. I do gotta say,
what was up with your stomach again with this? You need to go to a doctor, man.
I know. I was fine, dude. When we were at the place, I was like, I might get some nachos.
This is what always happens.
I was I was the only person who took a bite of your meal.
Yeah, and that was the thing I kept trying to track down. So did you get the dynamic of the guy who was delivering? He was like just supposed to be doing drinks. And then our main waitress, I think black show, she's
the girl.
Yeah, the girl. That doesn't matter.
You can call her a girl.
I was trying to just paint the picture of if you remembered them, because he was sucking at drinks, so she was doing double duty, and she was like, well, that's because he delivered it, and I could start feeling a little bit of heat between them, and so I start tuning in whenever she's around, because we
I didn't pick up on that.
I didn't get that. I didn't even know who was the real waiter or waitress.
It was the chick dropping off the food, but yeah, he because he's just I don't know, he's not a bus boy, but I think he's just drink guy and a food. What do they call it? Food runner? I think is probably what his, and he was just not. He was trying to be nice, but he just, half a stew nod. But I kept trying to get her attention because I wasn't eating anything, and I didn't want people to notice that, which everybody did. I wanted to grab her and say, "Hey, can you wrap this up for me?" I was trying, but
you're trying to do it low key though.
Yeah, and I mean, it took us 20 minutes. Now it's a party of 16, so I get it. But we got unsweetened iced teas, and it took us 15 minutes to get lemon and.
Is it a weird thing to get unsweetened iced tea? Because it's happened more than once recently. Is they don't bring you any sweetener for it.
I've
They
noticed a lot.
usually ask you when you order it. Like,
I've noticed a
what do you
lot
want with
more
it?
people aren't putting it on the table. Like it's not just always on the table.
Yeah, and the little
Yeah, a
tray
little
thing.
tray. Like
yeah.
I've been to a lot of places now that I've had it specifically, or they'll ask you like, what do you want for it? But yeah, just usually that, and then you always go, I want extra lemon. But to just give me a unsweetened iced tea is, I guess, well, Rachel drinks that, but yeah.
What
Maybe
did
I'd throw 'em off.
what did you order? What was
I
that?
regretted it. It's
Chicken Madeira.
their, yeah, it's
or
their
something?
like most famous one.
Looked good.
The asparagus was good. I did a panic order because my stomach wasn't feeling good, so I was like trying to like eat pieces of bread, but like, and just sipping water. The asparagus was good, and their fucking mashed potatoes there are always good.
Banging, yeah.
The chicken is weird though because it was like egg. It's not breaded. It's like kind of breaded,
Like
but also
chicken Romano, kind of.
it's hard to explain. It's different. It's like an egg breading on it almost. It doesn't have and not much sauce on there. So
Yeah, lots of cheese. It looked good.
yes, and it's their most that's its most famous entree is like what it says underneath of it.
Yeah.
And that's why I grabbed it because I was going to do the spicy rigatoni or vodka rigatoni, but
You had eaten earlier too. That's why I was surprised because you had the wake up wrap.
yeah, I don't know, something's going on.
Get this man to a doctor.
Or just I
Because
don't
it's
know.
been a couple months now we've been running that.
Yeah,
So we're gonna
I'm
we're
gonna have
talking
to get
about it on film. So
I'm gonna
now
have to
you
get an
do it.
endoscopy or whatever it's called.
Well, you're not a doctor, so let's see what the
yeah,
doctor
see
says.
what the doctor says. You might not need to.
But yeah, so overall good. You got cheesecake. It was funny. It was
Lemon meringue. Baby.
it was a thing I could see, and this is like 80% of that. Not that we're not close, because that's our aunt. It's probably one of our closest we're with. But like you could see everybody had the same thing when they were like, "Who wants cheesecake?" And people were like, because Ed was like, "I'm gonna get it," and then you were like, "I'm definitely getting some." And who stood up and was like, or no, when Ed came back, that's it, because like 4 people ordered cheesecake, because they're all very full at this point. And I was telling Riley, I was like, "You're gonna want some cheesecake later, dude." But Ed came back and I was like. He was like, "Am I the only one who ordered cheesecake?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he got like an actual panic. He was like, "Why didn't anybody?" Because if you're the only coming from, he's a bigger guy, but he's not like fat. But if I ordered cheesecake and I was like, "I'm gonna go to the bathroom," and I came back and I was the only one who ordered cheesecake, I would be fucking mortified, and I would be looking at Rachel and say, "You fucking eat this cheesecake.
Yeah.
I don't care if this is shrimp cheesecake and I might kill you. You're eating this."
That
You're
would
so
fall.
worried about what everybody
Yeah,
else thinks.
you'd be talking about that for 2 months.
Yeah, that would. I mean, yes, you would. Not as bad as me, but if you were the only one that ordered cheesecake, because I think you asked, or is anyone else ordering cheesecake?
Well, yeah, I 100% wanted cheesecake, so the only situation where I wasn't gonna get cheesecake is if I was the only one.
But that shit was pretty impressive. Was it the lemon meringue?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That was
I
good,
ate
right?
like half of it.
Yeah.
And it had a fucking like marshmallowy
little browning on the top of
creme brulee type of topping on. It smelled good. You could smell the. I mean, let's be honest. Is there a cheesecake there that you wouldn't demolish?
I think a lot of times I make a bad choice because I go too fancy.
I was
with
gonna
the
say some of it
cheesecake.
could be too much.
But the
Yes.
simple.
Like the Godiva triple
fucking-
quadruple
Exactly, yeah.
chocolates and stuff.
Yeah.
But then it's just to me that's like the 3 of us can split this for a week because I only needed 1 fork of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I told Steven I was gonna take 1 bite, and I was like, I'm gonna take
No,
8 more bites.
I needed the help though, because like I hit that point, like it was like
When you were walking out of there, you were like genuinely, you're like, I took one. He said, I took 1 sip of too much coffee.
yeah,
like
it was weird. I passed the dish and I was like, shit.
you pushed it. Yeah,
Yeah. But I was great, man. That meatloaf's so good.
that's what I wanted to get into. Not to run too long here on the food, but the thing there is you can get everything from a turkey club to jambalaya, to meatloaf
Yeah.
to like fancy Italian. It doesn't have one genre there. That's why it's so hard to pick. Because sometimes when it's 5 options, you're like, what am I don't want a cheeseburger, I don't want pasta. Now I got 3.
I like that though because I'm a big diner guy, so I want to be able to order whatever is. I usually don't have a hard time picking from a menu though.
The thing about the diner is though, you can usually do like a couple of things. I kind of like to have a
Little
smorgasbord.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can be like, let me get 1 egg, a turkey club, and some gabagool on the side. You know, something. Give me a fruit cup as well while you're at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that meatloaf is. I've had it before, which is so funny because we said the same. When I got the meatloaf, I was like, I should just be able to make my own meatloaf. And when the shepherd's pie there, I almost got. I was like, I won't do that. I can make my own shepherd's pie in 20 minutes.
Yeah, I'm sure it's banging though.
Everything there. Although I should have got the flatbread or I should have got the vodka rigatoni because when I got home, I laid down and got hungry. And when I was eating, I was like, just.
I feel like it's a common thing for you to panic order and order something like that you really don't like.
It sounds like you weren't gonna be able to eat shit.
Yeah, no. I think so, but
when
you
I
didn't
ordered
even like
food,
it later.
I was like, this is for later.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and make it look like I'm doing, but like I literally put mashed potatoes in my mouth and held it there for like 3 minutes.
Damn. So you were like on the verge of puking?
Yeah, but like I didn't really have, and I was totally fine up until like seriously when we were in the truck ride there. I had that soda, that 12-ounce soda, and that's when all of a sudden that's when my stomach that's when I got there I just got a water.
Yeah, I was surprised they had an open tab and you didn't get a drink. I was like,
well, also too like when we get one, I don't want to get one beer to fill up on, or like. But yeah, no, I probably would have because when Ed got it, I was like, that does look good, but I'm not going to be able to handle that right now. Rachel, you ended up getting their veggie burger.
Yeah.
And it was fun to watch you eat that because they put avocado on there. So the avocado, it's become a trendy thing, but it's not good on sandwiches because it makes everything slide around too much.
I like it, but it's slippery. But
especially if you already have tomato on there too.
That wasn't the whole problem. It was just too tall.
Just
the bun itself was too tall to fit in my mouth.
Listen, this is something that we need to, start campaigning for. When you make the bigger the burger, go wider. Stop going taller on burgers.
I can't disagree.
I had to basically eat it like a salad. I just
it
cut it up
sucks.
and
I feel like we grew up when Dad would make, homemade hamburger. It turned into a meatball because it just would suck up like this, and you're eating a burger like that big in the center. It's dry on the outside at this point.
I like all burgers, but I know what you mean. Practically, you can up the poundage of the burger without going high. You can also go
gotta
wide.
flatten it a little.
Yeah, go
like
flat.
Burger King burgers, I feel like are really wide.
That's one of the reasons I like the Whopper.
There's a lot of reasons to like
the Whopper's a good burger.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a smash burger? They start in California. They're starting to come around. It's basically like.
I know what they are.
Yeah, but apparently they're really good because there's a lot more cheese to meat ratio on there.
Always a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks for dinner.
Thank you. Glad everyone got home safe. Aunt Jeannie sent me and it's just out of love. She sent me a paragraph. They want to come back. Apparently they ended up doing the ferry and they fucking loved it. And I was like, yeah, that's one thing I guess Pittsburgh's got.
What ferry? The Gateway Clipper?
Clipper, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because it was funny. Riley asked me, you were busting my balls because everyone was like, oh, I like Pittsburgh. And so I'm just having conversation. You're like, why are you selling everybody on Pittsburgh? I was like,
Ed said that too. First.
Oh, yeah, but I'm like, what am I supposed to do? I'm not going to everyone's like, oh, I like it here. This and that. What am I going to be like? It actually fucking sucks around here.
It wasn't bad. They're just busting your balls.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. But because then I was like, I have been selling Pittsburgh. Because even then Gracie was said something. I was like, there's Carnegie Mellon. They're really good for this around here. And then someone was like, wait, what, are you trying to get her to come to Pittsburgh? I was like, you know what? No, stay out of my fucking city.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
God forbid. I was like, there's a really good school in Pittsburgh that it's hard to get in.
Well, you do have a marketing degree, so that's what you do. That's what you do.
And it is, But I felt bad because Riley, it slipped my mind because like I don't even think about it. He kind of asked, he's like, "So what do you do for fun?" And I kind of was like, and he don't drink, and I was like, I don't know. There's like college bars that I don't really go to anymore. I go bowling, not even thinking that he's like, I might want to do. He's still young and has energy, so he might want to do something tonight. And so I was just like, yeah, I don't know. We've gone axe throwing before, and like
I
there's
do always think that question's kind of like when people ask in your city, you know, what's fun to do, like. It's always every city's the same kind of. There's like,
and he's just a sweetheart of a guy. Like I thought he would literally was just like, so what do you do for fun?
mm-hmm.
Just like because he's trying to make conversation and you know he's trying to talk to his girlfriend they're still in the early stage. So I'm sure you know he's playing a balance. But he asked me, and I was like, yeah, I don't know, I do this, and I should have totally recognized. I'm like, oh, you guys are in the city, yeah, go do the fucking Gateway Clipper or ride the trolley thing or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He ended up doing it. Yeah, they found it themselves anyway. But
good. Well, everybody had a good time.
Yeah, that to travel driving up Friday night and going home Sunday. That is a fucking dedication to something, though.
Yeah, for real.
Like maybe a Birds game. Would I do that turnaround?
Yeah,
for free tickets though.
That's about it. Yeah.
So good weekend. We're going to do we're doing some Taco Wednesday. What would you like? I can't think of a good acronym for tacos, W's and tacos. What do you want on your Taco Wednesday is what we're doing today.
That works.
Real quick, give me a rundown of we did burgers. Just real quick rundown. Your druthers on a taco. So you're a big Mexican guy. That's like your favorite food, I think.
I am. I'm a soft shell guy. Preferably flour, not corn. Some sour cream, beef. I prefer the beef taco to any taco. Although chicken's fine, whatever. But druthers, beef. Some refried beans, cheddar cheese, lettuce, sprinkling onion. Then that's my perfect, ideal taco.
And getting the portions right.
Which is very hard.
Which is hard.
Very hard.
I'm basically the same thing, but to run through the order, it's shell. I'm flour as well. I used to be corn, but I've come around. Cheese on there. Then the meat, so the meat melts the cheesy a little bit. And then you form it, and that's when I'll do sour cream, tomato, or salsa. I can go either way with that. And then the lettuce on top.
Yeah. See, I don't really like the salsa on the taco because it's strong. It's a strong.
That or that.
And it wets it up a little bit sometimes.
The like taco paste. It's basically like salsa but blended, I think.
Talking about like enchilada sauce?
Not enchilada sauce.
That shit's banging.
It's still a red sauce. But usually when you buy a hard shell, like if you buy a taco kit, it usually comes in the packet. Or what's the El
Paso?
El Paso makes it in a glass bottle.
I know exactly what you're talking about. That shit is good.
It is good.
It's basically a version of enchilada sauce.
Yeah.
It's a little different.
It's just red. So I like that because you can more evenly distribute it. Mm-hmm. Where like with tomatoes or salsa, you'll get a bite and it all falls off. That, when you drizzle it on top of the lettuce, kind of can weigh it down and give you more.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my theory with tacos is once you pick it up, you can't put it back down. It's too messy.
Yeah.
He's got to kind of hold it, pinch the bottom, and do the kind of turn the bottom into a butthole to hold it all in there.
The problem is I don't know how to roll a proper burrito.
I'm not a burrito guy, man. It's too much tortilla for stuff in there.
What?
And I grew up always.
You don't have to eat the butts if you don't want to.
Well, that's a lot of times with the burrito. Is like you get it in it's like in layers. Like you'll be like, all right, well, I just got all the sour cream in 3 bites.
Especially if you don't make it yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But because I grew up doing the fat kid thing, going like, I'll take the big ass burrito because I'm worried about the amount of food I'm gonna get.
But like at Chipotle, you get more in a bowl than a burrito. I prefer a burrito.
Yeah.
Taste wise. But I'm getting like triple in a bowl.
Yeah, a lot more rice anyway.
Well, for me, it's also. I'm not going to put a third of a burrito down and eat it later. So then I'm just wasting because a full burrito I will like be too full. But with the bowl, that's 2 meals for me.
Yeah, I don't know how. I don't know how to roll it properly a burrito.
Well.
So like it ends up being just a tube.
Like a flauta.
Yeah. Yes, like a flauta.
I'm interested. I ordered from our new meal plan thing. I'm getting flautas next
Yeah.
week.
Chicken or beef?
Chicken.
Okay.
No, actually beef.
I think they're beef,
Beef,
yeah.
yeah.
And then I got potato quesadillas. I think.
Rachel ate salmon last night. She got 2 things of fish.
How was it?
Good. I was scared. But the vegetarian options in our new meal thing aren't great. They're like heavy pasta. Well, I mean, they're good, but they're like just cheesy pastas.
Right. They're not very.
So you can't eat very healthy. So I wanted to try the fish options to see if I could get like healthier, like veggie and fish.
Mm-hmm.
But I tried salmon once before, and I don't think I cooked it right, but I hated it. But this was very good. I liked it.
Damn, you went fucking big. Only your second or third time ever having salmon?
And
Yeah.
she got 2 salmon meals.
But it's like
Good thing you like it.
they season it, they cut it.
No, I know, but
so I figured that was a safer bet than me like full cooking it myself.
It is because fish, like I have no idea how to. We just didn't grow up with it because she was afraid of the look of it. She's like, I think this is brown here. I was like, that's like its spine kind of. She was like, can I eat that? I was like, yeah, Rachel, this is like a pretty big meal plan type of thing. They're not going to be leaving the bones
I
in there.
texted Stephanie like 4 times. I was like, is it supposed to be pink? Am I supposed to eat the entire thing? Is there anything I need to avoid in here?
Yeah, the one thing with fish is you can eat it raw, so you don't really have to worry about nothing.
And this cooker does, dude. Because they have it down to a fucking perfect
It's
science.
Smart. Yeah.
The portion per the way they tell it to cook it. I've had the best steak out of this thing, like probably my whole life out of it, and best pork chop.
Get us a sponsorship, man.
Yeah, if anyone wants Tavala, let us know. We'll give you our coupon
Tavala,
code.
yeah, we'll give us your coupon code. I don't know if they're still running the deal, but it's for a family of 4. I don't know if it's worth it, but for a family of 2 or for a single person or someone that's on the go a lot, this
It's
shit's been
great.
game changer.
Is
They
it,
got
is
good
it
ass
fill you
food.
up?
Yeah, I haven't been able to eat that much, but yeah.
It's been perfect for us though, because a lot of nights we're not hungry at the same time, or like a lot of times we don't eat the same things because
Yeah.
I want vegetarian and Jean has
Good.
meat.
The only and everything is pretty healthy. Like you can get gnocchi, but
But it's all portioned too, so even if it's unhealthy, you're getting like a normal person
I had this
portion.
banging salad that came with the fucking and it always comes with fancy sauces. The only bad part about it, which for some people this is a positive, is you got to pick next week's meals. And for me, I'm like a guy where like I'll wake up and I'm like, maybe I want burgers for dinner, but by the time I get home, like I want Chinese. But they give a good thing, so I try to do like an Italian, a Mexican, a pork
Have you
chop.
had the chicken parm yet?
Yes, very good. And the whale, it's because it's nice. It's smaller portions. It's chicken parm with 2 shells, stuffed shells.
Nice.
So you get a nice mix up on those. But so if, Tavala, spell it out for the people.
Tovala. You have to get the oven with it, but it's a multi-purpose instrument, so you can
Oven's
also like
nice.
air fry in it. You can toast in
It's
it.
taking. I think it might make it so we don't have an air fryer on our
Yeah.
our tabletop
We
anymore.
technically could have taken our air fryer away already, but I'm attached to it, so we were making absolutely certain first.
Yeah, we're still test marketing.
Well, it
so.
sounds like you guys got a good thing going with Tavala.
I'm excited. It's nice when you go home and it's all shipped perfectly and clean and easy. Instructions are super simple. And to be like, do I want Mexican that'll only take 12 minutes? Or do I want a fucking filet mignon that'll only take 12 minutes with a
And all
side
the
of...
packaging is recyclable.
Yes. It's
You
healthy.
got to get a gif of him doing this thing.
Floaters. But hey guys, thanks for tuning in. We're gonna be making some changes out there, so stay tuned for what's going. We're trying to make things a little more exciting for you. But this has been You Be Aight, because you will be all right. And even with stomach problems, people traveling far away, fancy new meal plans, taco nights, everything is going to be okay because you'll be all right.
Be all right.
I am Gene Labordi, co-host Stephen Labordi, and Rachel doing all the good, hard work, making our fancy new entrances and intros and stuff is Rachel Labordi. So have a good rest of your week. Bye.
We should get some entrances, dude, for the show where we walk on with music and stuff.
Do some fucking WWE entrances.